guys, I'm on my way to get some new tires put on. You gotta see these things, they are tiny as can be. So, it'll be good. All right, there it is. Look how tiny these tires are. But they actually build out pretty good, and they should tuck very well now. Obviously, may not go drop as low as some of them being narrowed, but this will be pretty good. But that's a huge difference from what it was. All right, guys, here we are over here at Christopher's shop. Tires done earlier today. Got the stuff for the front end. So this is the absolute easiest way to lower the car, given if we had smaller front wheels, the stock ones have been better, but these are some 125s. And so I'm hoping not to have to narrow the beam. So that makes this pretty easy. So these are the Thru rods, which essentially mostly you see for off-road. These are the clamp nuts. This is an EMPI kit. And those clamp nuts go on there. These are brass washers. And I had ordered Teflon washers, but they said that those were better than the Teflon ones even. And then some nylon lock nuts to go on here to hold these in place. These are Monroe Air Shocks, the 756s for the front. I've also got some for the rear and everything to go with those. So it should allow us just to drop it as down as far as it'll go.
You said you want us to build a gasser, right? Gasser, bud?
Yeah, we need a straight axle on there. Looks pretty good with the tiny tires jacked up like that, doesn't it? So the first thing we've got to do is actually take out the nuts and the bolts there, which is an Allen head bolt, holding on the end of the trailing arm, and we can actually just pull the whole thing out and take the shock loose. You technically don't even have to take the wheel off. So these are the gas adjust KYB shocks, and gas shocks on a normal standard Volkswagen lift the front of the car up big time because these things are sprung out all the time. So you've got this spring and you've got the torsion bar, and they're really not the right thing to use. If you've got an off-road bug, those are perfect. Regular bugs should not have these, and they were put on before I got it. So these air shocks should be perfect. So we're gonna remove the shock right quick. And then these are those bolts on the trailing arms. So they're Allen head with that lock nut on them. That'll release it from the spring packs that are in both of those. And then we can take them out. Make this shock work, that's the worst. The rubber from the other shock and the inner barrel there, we had to come up with a few ways to press it out with the vise here. This is the easier way. All right, guys, so these are loose now, and there's an Allen head in there. You just break those loose also. And this piece will essentially come off of there, so you're gonna pull those out, and then we'll pull the bars out after we loosen up the other ones in here. All right, that's them. And you can see where the needle bearings rest in here. We don't wanna mess up any of that. The seals are still good. And this is the shim packs, which are your torsion, which they spring back and obviously wanna go back to rest. So now we're gonna loosen up the other little pinch bolts holding on to them, slide them out, send the new bars in, and then pop out these little caps and bolt it up. All right, so got the shim packs there coming out, and taping them up, and I'm gonna mark passenger bottom and then passenger top, and I'm just taping them up so it kind of holds them together. And I'm gonna throw them in this cardboard box over here I'm just gonna leave the grease on them, so hopefully it'll be okay. I really don't think it matters much as long as you got the little divot spots here. Right, I was able to leave the other side in pretty much this whole time. The little pinch bolts, those you just essentially back out all the way, just enough threads to make them hold. They just become plugs because you don't want them holding anything. So now I'm gonna fit these back in here, slide them in, and then the ends are open now. There's a little metal cap that will pop out of here. And then finish up these. Like I said, we don't want them touching anything. You just want them to be just a grease plug, I guess. And then we'll send the Thru bars in. All right, so now the shock's all in place. Finished tightening it up. The trailing arms are back in. And now we're gonna send the Thru rod through. Just gotta fit it through the middle part in there, and then on out the other side. And that should be about it. So there should be some sticking out the other side. Probably fairly greasy. And, oh, trailing arm sticking out, so stick it back in there and it should be good. So the next thing is we've got these little pinch nuts and the brass washers, and the lock nut will go on last. And you want to make sure you have these when you buy this kit. This, like I said, this is an EMPI kit. You can buy it from a few different places. The trailing arms are just be free to move. So this is just holding them onto the vehicle. Otherwise they'd work their way out. But this takes out all spring here, because a lot of guys will end up putting adjusters in or buying a beam with adjusters in it. If you're gonna slam the car and raise it back up with air shocks or even bags, if you built a system, you don't need any tension here. So the guys, just like the yellow bug I had and the green one, it was adjustable. They were both narrowed, and it really didn't need it. The adjusters were really backed all the way out so that it would have full travel. So this isn't, the cheapest way, because you're still having to get this kit right here, but it's a lot easier to have to take the front end off and weld in something or cut it and spin it or whatever you choose. So it's not the cheapest. The cheapest would be just to cut it and spin it, I guess, but that's free. But this is a little bit money, but it is the easiest because I don't have to take anything apart. I just pop stuff out and pop these in, throw in the air shocks, and this thing should go down pretty far. Okay, so the brass washer is on the inside right here, and then this clamp nut goes on the outside, and then we've got the lock washers that will go out here. So trying to just kind of eye them back and forth, and then I'll lock one side down and that'll let me tighten up to it. All right, that's pretty much it. Got those little clamp nuts down tight. Got some lock nut on there, and comes down to it, you pretty much got to choose a side and just go ahead and cinch it together, put a wrench on it, and then start working on the other side. So this one's a little bit longer than the other ones, but it'll be fine as long as they're in there and they're clamped together and those things aren't coming out, because that would be pretty scary. So now I just got to run the lines up there, and then that should be it. All right, guys, all done. This is the first time going down. Let's see what happens here. So low, I don't know if I can get it. Oh, settled on down there. Man, that's low. Oh, that looks so good. looks friggin' amazing. Look at that. Look at that beautiful beast. Wow. So right now it doesn't have any air on it at all. Complete zero. And that looks killer. That looks so good. I imagine it will go on down further as it settles. It's pretty solid right there. So it's like if I had the bigger tires, it definitely would have hit it, because everybody's the fender for that. Looks pretty killer. The beam is off the ground right there. It looks real nice and low. Got some air shocks for the rear. We'll drop it down a little bit, but that looks really good. It may come on down after we move it a little bit back and forth, but even if it doesn't, I'm happy with that. So sweet, appreciate it, guys. Right, guys, don't forget you can get $25 off of ceramic coating, the Armor Shield 9 from Avalon King, by putting HiRevz 25 in at checkout at avalonking.com. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share on this video for your chance to win the AMR 500 Supercharger.